Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update on Monday, August 6th at 11:10 p.m. Mountain Time 2018. You're looking at Sakurajima erupting just moments ago. Today, one of the tens of eruptions in 80 days, probably over 50 explosions. And as cosmic rays increase, these types of activities are going to be natural occurrences globally. We're going to be witnessing them in frequent number. And it's the big VEI 7 that we're worried about and we're waiting for. We talked about it last night. Let's go on with the update. California's Mendocino complex wildfire becomes the largest in state history. Clear Lake, California. Officials said late Monday that two fires spreading in Northern California have merged to become the state's largest wildfire in history. The fires that have been burning only a few miles apart, known as the Medicino complex, that ignited on July 27th, encompass an area the size of LA, and it's the second straight year that California has seen multi-million-dollar mansions go up in flames. Good job getting out of Dodge, Ice Age Farmer. Let's check the Knoll School. Now, I went over here, and you can see clearly these two fires joining. Look at the black dots. Remember Siberia? So these two wildfires really aren't one wildfire, but they are for the newspapers because there's a small amount of burning activity that are linking the two. So this is just fear-mongering at its finest. Clearly, come see here. How many fires do you see? 1, 2. Yes. There are two fires, not one. They're going to call this one fire now so they can fear-monger your ass to tax you for carbon monoxide or dioxide. Softball-sized hail pounds El Paso County, causing death and damage. We predicted it, and here it is, and they want us to pay for it. So let's go on to the next article because there's plenty of them. Yes, severe hailstorm injures 8 people, kills 3 animals at Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. And I'm just going to parse these babies up. A severe hailstorm that pounded parts of El Paso County Monday afternoon sent 8 people who were visiting the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo to the hospital with hail-related injuries. 3 birds died. Multiple injuries in destructive hailstorm, including this nasty back cyst, which probably didn't happen from hail, but he wants to go to school and be cool. Or it's from hail. Watch, rain large and hail pound Pikes Peak. This guy's totally stoked, losing all his hair and his back windshield. It's true. A collection of Twitter videos from storms that dropped heavy rain and hail, the size of softballs across the Pikes Peak region and other areas of Colorado. Golf ball, baseball size hail was reported. And there's tons of videos to prove it. We don't even need to pretend. We're not pretending. We're proving. That's what this channel is. The proof is in the pudding. Yes. Here we are. Backyards with baseball-size hail. Oh, this IP address cannot be found anymore? They're probably selling that. Severe storms, hail move through southern Colorado. Click to unmute. Hail and flooding sweep across Colorado Springs area. This is the second time in 5-10 weeks that Manitou Springs got completely decimated. Anyone who replanted their crops are really pissed off at this point. 4:45, severe thunderstorms continue across the area with large hail as the main threat. Additional storms will move through the same area. A severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Teller County, El Paso, golf ball size hail and softball size hail, smacking the backs of tweens. Excessive heat continues out west. Severe storms possible across the central U.S. as well as more gigantic hail as it continues to increase in size and batter humans that don't have helmets on. Excessive heat watches and warnings remain in effect for parts of Southern California and the desert Southwest for the next few days as temperatures soar above 100 as it does every summer since we've been recording temperatures. Intense heat will then rebuild across the Northwest. This is anomalous up in this region here. Mid to late week. Meanwhile, the threat for severe thunderstorms and gigantic hail exists from lower Great Lakes to the High Plains today. And pop-up hail for Manitou Springs and the Front Range. Heads up. Cold air brings winds and snow to New South Wales. It's true. It snows in the Southern Hemisphere, regardless of what Al Gore says, even in the winter. Cold air Air has surged across New South Wales overnight, with snow falling in Blue Mountains and Overton in the central Tablelands. In the Blue Mountains, the west of Sydney and South Wales, flakes were seen drifting in the sky at the Blacksheath and the Katoomba, while heavier snow in the Overton thanks to the pulse of cold air surging across Western Australia. Snow is also falling in the ACT's Mount Ansar, while towns close to the Alps, such as the Shrimp on the Barbie, Adamamba, and Jinbabe, were also lightly dusted with the Shrimp on the Barbie. Early Tuesday morning. The snow in the mountains themselves. Ski resorts Thredbo received 35 centimeters of snow in the last 24 hours. Damn, that's a lot. A perfect POW day, light from the bottom to the top. And still snowing at Thredbo, up to 20 centimeters forecast for today, tomorrow, ahead of clear skies before more snow arrives on the weekend. Snow, snow, and more snow. Bomb! You lied, you pricks. You can hide tricks. Oh, you thought I was going to go there. Herald Sun, Victoria's snow season extended at Hotham, where they extended the ski season for the 8th straight year in a row. Grand solar minimum much? Yes, it has nothing to do with Al Gore or global warming, but the sun shutting down. Epic ski seasons here in the 2010 range. And now, for the next 5 years, we're going to be talking about skiing your ass off. It's true, avalanche warnings are issued after bumper snowfall in the Victorian Alps. Yes, bumper does not mean not that good. It doesn't mean not at all either, Al. It means a shit ton of snow in the Victorian Alps. An avalanche alert has been issued in the Victorian Alps after a record-breaking season in the state's snowfields. It comes after massive snowfalls at a resort, including Mount Hotham, Falls Creek, with more than 20 centimeters of snow recorded at Beulah in just 24 hours, and it is going to continue to snowing for weeks. If you're breaking records now, you're going to be breaking records for weeks. It's just begun. Mount Hotham yesterday announced that its snow season would be extended because this half pipe is totally badass. And that's a boom. I can't believe you do it like that in Australia. You really know what's going on. Falls Creek has recorded 24 centimeters of fresh powder overnight, with a further 25 centimeters of snow expected, for a total of 50 centimeters. Yeah, the average snow depth is currently 141 centimeters, and in the next 24 hours, 33% more of that total number is going to fall. Authorities have warned backcountry skiers, snowboarders, and hikers of considerable avalanche risk on some terrain, but these idiots haven't seen snow like this since the centennial minimum in 1911, so we're going to see tons of people dying in these conditions because they're idiots and they just have never seen it before and they do not know how to play nice. Don't watch it on Instagram. Watch it on the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. We just shut down the next article, so we're going to get to it. Whew. Oh, my God. Let's get to the science. We can just bypass this. Rain on snow flood risk to increase in mountain regions in the western U.S., Canada, and Australia. We already got there. Okay. Here's some science coming out August 6, 2018. Flooding caused by rain falling on snowpack could more than double by the end of the century in some areas of western U.S., Canada due to climate change, aka grand solar minimum and cooling, according to new researchers from the University of Colorado Boulder and the Center for Atmospheric Research at NCAR. The greatest flood risk increase are projected for the Sierra Nevada, the Colorado River headwaters, and the Canadian Rockies. And I just bought a Class 5 cataract, and I am stoked. Check out the science of being totally stoked for the epic biblical floods to come every spring. It's awesome. That will water the crops. Now here's the fearmongers. Global warming may become unstoppable, even if we stick to Paris targets. Now, apparently the mainstream believes that you don't know that even if we stick to Paris targets, we can't affect the temperature on the globe. 100% sticking to the Paris Agreement, temperature drops 0.0005 degrees. That's zero. Because the standard deviation is 0.001, which means that they're totally full of shit. Now, it gets even worse. Also coming out today, Hothouse Earth on 5 different major platforms. Runaway global warming threatens habitability of the planet for humans. No, it doesn't. A warm earth and more CO2 equals abundance, plant growth, and tons of vacation. Fucking idiots. I'm so sick of it. It's almost as if I'm about to take a vacation forever. I am writing the theme song to the channel currently, and we'll get to that. Record-breaking heat wave leaves 29 dead in South Korea. Food prices skyrocket while the blurry pictures abound. At least 29 people have died due to heat stroke in South Korea because they're old and they died because they were outside in the heat. More than 22 suffered heat-related conditions as prolonged and record-breaking heat wave engulfs the country. The Korean Meteorological Administration said you should go inside and stop dying of heat stroke. Yeah, and stop wasting LED light for the stupid thing that's there. The heat has been continuing after dark into the mornings, causing what meteorologists call Arizona. Now, authorities reported more than 3 million deaths of livestock, while vegetable prices double because the cost of this suit is remarkable. Oh my God, did you get the memo? It's amazing. We're clicking on and nothing's happening. Ukraine to limit the wheat exports by 20% after severe drought ruins harvest. This is bad news. They export their wheat to us. So now we're cut off. And this is just the beginning of the cascading effect of the grand solar minimum. As temperatures drop, come up here. This is since 2016. It's straight down. Even the July 2018, even though it's 0.32 degrees above the standard deviation, it goes back to the 80s. It shows a 0.4 degree drop in the last year, and it is cooling quickly. The slope continues. The wheat exports do not. Ukraine to limit wheat exports by 20% after severe drought ruins harvest, and that's going to affect your pocketbook and our wheat supply. No bread, $10 bread, welcome to your future. Seismic update, no quakes of note. We have amazing activity in the mid-ocean ridges and the Ring of Fire, especially in the Indonesia region. It has not ended. The events on Lombok continue. Let's come take a close-up. And you can see a 5.4 happening at 1821 UTC and 15. So the 1821 is the most recent and is the closest to the caldera. So we're going to be watching this massive caldera, aka Samalas, from the historical record closely as time progresses. I wouldn't expect that volcano to erupt until this winter or next winter, if at all. Worldwide volcano news update. We have Karaminsk in the Kamchatka Peninsula, Dukono, Sakurajima, Sabankaya, Abiko. We showed you the Sakurajima explosion footage on the outtake. Now let's talk about Kilauea. As we showed you, due to our geologic analysis yesterday, now the USGS and the mainstream are confirming that Fissure 8 is dead and the flow has ceased. There is no more lava rafting. It has stopped flowing completely. As of 24 hours ago, as we predicted. It's over, Johnny. Just about 100 days. The Lays plume is slowly quieting down. And there is a crustal cooling happening. Now, this is an eruptive event. And if you look at the history of the shield volcanoes, they occur in eruptive events which last for months. And I believe this one's over. Now, if this is a cosmic ray flux induced event, we could have another one, but it would be a separate event unrelated to this one. This event is done. And you can see the Lays plume there, barely any activity. It's cooling off. And as the hurricane comes by, Hector, it's going to simply wash waves up here and cool it off. And they're going to start selling land by the end of the week. Mark my words. And that's a boom. Sheep will buy it. Sheep will buy it. We're almost done. Stick with me. Oh, let's check out the boom. It's a Paul McCartney boom, and that's a boom. Now, I've been Staying away from the shtick and the tricks, but we're going to get to it, and I dare you to prepare. Massive glowing rogue planet spotted drifting in space. This is because the mainstream is so off base, and astrophysicists and physicists, astronomers, they're not on the multidisciplinary approach like we are at the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Now, in order to become an excellent paleoclimatologist, you have to know about astrophysics, you have to know about geology, physics, all of the natural sciences, including chemistry, planetary geology, astronomy. And that's what gives us deep insight into the workings of the Earth, which is why I can provide it to you. Now, the mainstream has no idea why a massive glowing rogue planet was spotted drifting in space. But if you ask Dave Talbot, he's been waiting for this moment. In fact, this is how the Earth was for millennia, for millions of years, in a polar orientation below one of these rogue planets, which we call now Saturn. It's called the Saturn myth. But it's more than a myth, it's history. Because myths are history. Now, this rogue planet, just like Saturn, may have small planetary objects above and below it that we cannot see because this is simply too far away. But just like Jupiter, Uranus, and Saturn in our solar system, all failed stars that can turn on at any moment, they're not planets, kids. These gas giants are stars in the off mode called brown dwarfs. And they can't understand why this massive glowing rogue planetary mass object has been discovered. Because it's just as Dave Talbot has uncovered a rogue brown dwarf, which probably has planetary bodies in a polar orientation. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out thunderbolts.info. I'll leave you links below. Incredible Hulk, nah. This is obfuscation from the truth because they do not want to admit electric universe. So they put a pathetic, Incredible Hulk overlay over a comet because they don't want to explain to you that the green glow is due to electricity. That's a Paul McCartney boom. I'm so sick of how stupid they have to pretend in order to get published. We don't know what's going on. It's the Incredible Hulk comet. It's glowing green and it's really a big guy and it's coming at us. Now, this gigantic green tinged comet is currently smashing its way through the night sky, leading some people to dub it the Incredible Idiot Comet because they're fucking stupid. Tomorrow, August 7th, the celestial object will make its closest approach to Earth, and it's glowing because of plasma discharge, because of its charge in an electric universe. There's more evidence of the electric universe coming out from tests where they remarkably saw a tail move position. I wonder if that has to do with electromagnetism or the electricity of the universe or the Birkeland current or the electrical potential of the sun or any other planets where it's moving about. Nah, probably not. It's the Incredible Hulk. Now, let's talk about some more real people. Christian Westbrook, Ice Age Farmer. He's going to be on the show on Wednesday. Check out his new video. Urgent. Tech censorship goes out of control as crops fail. Food shocks loom. Why are you going to check it out? Because I told you to. And because I don't have time to cover what he just covered. In great detail, in an awesome fashion. I like the kid's style. I also like him as he's a good friend of mine. And thankfully he got out of Medicino before him and his family burned up with the rest of the sheep. Check out his video. There'll be links below. Now, Lee Wheelbarger, who's got his little head hovering above the electric blue solar yacht, was on the show last week. And he'll be on the show every month until the grid fails. I guarantee it. And that's the inconvenient truth. Prepping for the Grand Solar Minimum, where we answer your questions and talk about how to retrofit a 40-foot yacht with solar so you can cruise the globe for free. Because you're not an idiot. And because you know about science and the facts. That's how we do it here. And that's how we do it big. The will to succeed is important. But what's more important is the will to prepare. Now, Bobby Knight might be a scumbag and a jackass, but he's a hero of mine because he knows about proper prior planning and how it prevents piss-poor performance. And he also knows that the will to succeed is important. But what's more important is the will to prepare. Do you have it, or are you still sitting on the couch? 90% of you are still sitting on the couch and your asses are widening as I'm talking. Education is the passport to the future, which is why I started the channel. For tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. And no, I'm not a racist because we're all part of the human race. And Malcolm X is a hero of mine because he, just like me, told everyone else to suck it. I dare you to prepare. You want to know how to win? Before you begin, you subscribe to the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. And that's a Paul McCartney boom. Guys, I hope you got something out of the video. Paul McCartney looks like a total nut job. But as predicted, solar activity is rapidly declining. And those are the facts. Bad stuff happens in the yellow zone, which starts now and continues forever. Good luck. We love you. And that's a boom.